Hey peeps, welcome to part 5 of my teleworking tips series. I think this time during my introduction, instead of just listing the things I went over in the previous videos, I'm going to talk about relevant ways that I actually use them. So in part 1, I talked about a couple things. I've been taking periodic breaks. Sometimes I have to remind myself because it's like a constant line of people standing waiting for my help, and I just want to help them. And so when I hit somebody that I can just talk to and explain the stuff, and I don't have to sit there and write notes as much, I actually stand up because I'm at home. I have the benefit of having a cell phone on me, and I'll walk over to the window and just watch traffic go by. You know, the traffic of people ignoring the quarantine, but I digress. And make time to unwind. I've been forcing myself, like some days I'm just like straight from one room to the next room to work on my YouTube videos. On other days, I'm like, nope, Rob, go watch some YouTube at the couch and relax. Eat your dinner. Don't forget to eat, you know. And I remind myself, even in the middle of the day, if I don't feel like eating lunch, go do something. Go wash dishes, go take out the recycle, whatever. Go check the mail. I've been connecting with people. I've been calling friends occasionally. I've been doing web conferences with other friends. My church group, I do that once a week, and I've been sticking to it. And the other one was Windows 10 taskbar customizations. I do that all the time anyways because I need to be efficient. So that's all from part 1. And on the part 2 video, really important, gives me the heart shapes to talk about this one, is showing your children stability. I've been able to see my son on extra days from home while working, and when I'm taking my periodic breaks, I check on him, see how he's doing, make sure he had a lunch, you know. If he's not hungry, that's cool. I check on him later. Are you hungry now? You want me to make you some eggs? Also talk to him weekly to make sure he's doing okay with the coronavirus and how his schoolwork's doing because he's doing his own remote telework stuff. Keep mobile devices charged was the other one. I actually forgot to charge my personal cell phone once. The alarm did not go off in the next morning. Even though I plugged into a charger when I went to bed, I didn't hit the button to make sure it was charging because the phone was completely off. I did charge it, but since the phone was off, the alarm didn't go off. That was on me. That was my fault. Make sure your stuff is charged. Close and reopen programs as needed. That's something that I was bad at before, but now that I'm working at home and I know computers use more watts, the more programs you have open, that's the reason for me that I've been closing them. Other reasons is that since I'm from home and everything is being channeled through my internet, which has less bandwidth than my work internet, it slows down my computer. So I close tabs when I'm not using them. I've been rebooting my computer every night, turning it off because I don't want it to use my own electricity, and that's actually aided in the performance of my computer because I'm not going into the computer the next day with all the same stuff I had from yesterday. And rebooting my mobile devices, I'm doing that like once a week. Only when something starts to bug out and I'm like, I don't want to mess with you, I'm just going to reboot you because I know it needs to be rebooted anyways. Part 3 video was about setting up my work PC at home. I have made slight updates to it to make it feel like I'm at work. I had Hot Wheels of little Novas that kept on my desk at work. I brought them home so that when I'm sitting at my work computer, I feel like I'm at work because those are familiar to a work environment for me. My part 4 video had a 5 points. Uninstall programs you don't need. I don't really do that on my work PC now that I have it home. That point is more like towards your home PC. I did notice that applications became available for some people, and what I did was I avoided installing them until I was advised that I needed them. And then if I was advised that I needed them, I set aside some time to figure out how to load it, how to log in, and what the menus looked like so that when I was needed to work in those programs, I would be ready. Security of internal applications is also an important one. I was careful not to log into things that I wasn't told I was supposed to log into. I never logged into them on my personal computer, and when I was on my work computer, I didn't log into them until I was told there was a business need to do them and what to use them for. And that really sums it up for my previous videos. I will have links and timestamps and things. Make sure you check the video description below, and then below that I'm going to have a comment that I pin, which makes it stay at the top with some stuff for you to click on if there's anything in there that you need to see. One quick note, I'm wearing these glasses because they help reduce my headaches because they block blue light. If you want to see my review and my reaction to them as I tested them 7 days straight with working at home and working on YouTube videos, I have a video that I released previously already. Without further ado, let's get into the video. The next one is about multiple browsers. You want to use multiple web browsers within reason. For example, when I'm working on my YouTube stuff and I'm watching YouTube, I do it in Chrome because Google makes Chrome and Google made YouTube. I don't know, it's probably not much better than using any other browser, but just in case, right? But for example, I use it because when I watch YouTubers, I want them to get paid that little bit of money from me seeing the ads. And the other browsers I use block ads in different ways. But it's all about workload. You have some websites that work better in Google Chrome or Internet Explorer or Firefox. Well, use that website in that browser and keep it so you know which web browser is for what. Speaking of, I need to update Edge. If you haven't updated Edge, you should too, because the old Edge is slow, it gets stuck, and there's been some complaints about it. And here's how to tell if you have the old one. It looks like this. The icon looks like that. And I'm going to go ahead and grab the new one. Download Edge. Okay, Microsoft, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's what I want. Accept and download. All right. So let's go ahead and update Edge. And Edge logo turns into this little swirly thing. I don't know about the swirly thing, but I already have Brave installed. But if you'd like, I'll have this links in the descriptions where you can download Edge and Brave. Say you want to put all your personal stuff in there, or you want to put all your work stuff in there. Either way, whatever you think is best for you. But Brave is basically like Google Chrome, but without Google watching you. And with Edge, Microsoft is watching you. They sell this information. Also, Brave has a built-in ad block. The next topic is about updating your systems. Unless your employer requires that you have a specific version of something, I recommend you update everything. I just updated Edge. I have to go through that. Let's see if it has an about page. So with Edge, to check if it's the latest version, you go to this little 3-dot thing, ellipsis, I guess, settings, and then about Microsoft Edge. And it checks itself right there for you. Same with Brave. You hit this dotted thing and hit about Brave, and it checks what version it is. So we're going to open up Firefox to see if it's up to date. That's done by pressing Alt on your keyboard, and then you see this bar, and you go Help, About Firefox. Firefox is up to date. If it's not, it just automatically starts updating itself. Internet Explorer is updated with Windows updates. So make sure you get those, and that is done by just click the Start button and type Updates, and you click the one that looks like this. It says Check for Updates with 2 arrows and System Settings. This menu opens, and I just installed Windows over the weekend because I found out I was going to be working from home, and I just wanted my system to be clean. That combined with some other stuff I was working on for my YouTube channel. I'm not going to get into that. So you just talked about Windows updates and updating your browsers. So when you're doing your updates, you want to do it outside of work hours. Or you can do it right close to the end of your work hours, but you don't want to get stuck where your computer wants to restart a bunch of times or restart and then have to search and do some more. There are ways to have it postpone updates, but I don't recommend you make this a permanent solution, is you could pause updates for 7 days right there in the newer versions of Windows 10. But if you pause it for 7 days, you can manually go in and unpause it and do it right then. Make a plan and stick to it. That way your computer is secure. One thing I'd like to point out about Windows updates is that they come out on a predictable schedule, which is the second Tuesday of every month. The ones that come out on the other days are called out-of-cycle updates and are like either emergency, oh my gosh, we got to fix a thing, or preview updates like you should check this update out. But for the most part, you'll be okay if you just set your schedule to check for updates Tuesday of the month in the evening, because they come out around 2 p.m. Eastern, okay? Maybe a little bit later, a little bit sooner, but give it some time, do a search and install them, And if you stick to that schedule, you'll be fine. And I've been doing that for about 8 years, and my computers have been running great. Other than all that stuff, that's it for this video. If you like this video, please drop a like. And if you want to see more content, get subscribed so you won't miss anything. If you want to see more on the teleworking series, I do have the previous 4 videos that I created that should be able to help you out with some different ideas for being more efficient and to reduce stress during the quarantine and the stay-at-home order. Other than all that, I've got other videos which have nothing to do with the human malware, and some with my son. I'll put video up here, and some where I talk to another version of me, and I'll put that video up here. Well, thanks for watching this video. I've been Robert Jene, signing out.